shuttle has cleared the tower. Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Team Remote Duels. Episode 3. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I hope you guys enjoy the content. So if you are in chat, feel free to just leave a comment there. Whatever we bring up, just leave a comment, leave some kind of a notice there, so we can actually talk about your ideas and your stuff online on chat and all of that. So as you can see, as per the usual, we have Kyle at the bottom over here, which is Talesman. We've got Lord Grim Ahmad, our usual, and then we've got a new visitor on the stream, Jaden, a good friend of ours, a good Yu-Gi-Oh player as well. So ja, Zain, 'n comment asseblief, los net iets in die dinge, kan ons praat, so weet ons hoe loop het. Alright, so with that being said, we are going to start episode 3 of our chats. And guys, thank you for letting me hit 60 followers at the moment. It is a for me personally, I thank you guys very much, because we have hit 60, which is cool. 60 followers all the way. So let's make the goal to get to 70, which will be our next flipping goal. And then the real Nightcore Gaming, I see you in the chat, bro. Hufflepuff, I see you there as well. Thank you for the support on the last stream and the last sponsorship deal. I appreciate it very, very much. Then also LackJack96, thank you for the follow, brother. I hope you enjoy the stream. I hope you are going to stay for the full 2 hours that we are going to be talking a bunch of cuck at the moment. Away Jetro, it's you. Salute. My bro, I'm happy that you are here. Then for the rest of the term, so that let me just reintroduce everyone. So we've got Kyle Talesman at the bottom of the screen right here. We've got Lord Grim in the top right over here, and then we've got a visitor, Jaden over here, Jaden 911. I don't know if he's an ambulance or a police officer, but he is here. Say hi in the chat. I hope you guys are here. So guys, thank you for the
Talisman!
And there Mrs. Kusanagi says hello as well. Everyone can hear.
Man.
So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I hope you guys enjoy the chat. If you have any other questions or any comments of any sorts about any topic that we have a discussion about, drop it in the comments right there, and let's get it going. Kyle, it is yours.
Hey guys, welcome back. So this is episode 3. Last week we were a bit more casual. We had some remote duels and just a bit of fun. This week we're back to our regularly scheduled podcasting, and we are joined as usual by obviously Yuzuri and Achis. Mac Attack is back. This time our jank enthusiast is going to stir cock as always.
Okay, just before we continue, guys. Okay, my wife has a question. So Mrs. Kusanagi has a question, and then just before she gets to her question, Zain. So Zain's wife, because we grew up together, we were together on school. She goes like, so Zain goes, my wife asked, why doesn't Ninja look gangster? Like, so to give you guys some context, her nickname to me all these years has been Ninja, because I am a martial artist from school already, and so a nickname to me is Ninja. Nana, what was your question? Because you had a question for Kyle?
No, not for Kyle, in general.
Okay, wait, let me move the mic towards you.
I just wanted to know when I am going to get my stream for the old school, when the Yu-Gi-Oh was still back in the day. Where there is no bans, no limitations, nothing. Because I would like to chew all of y'all asses.
She means pre 2005. She means I would be
2005.
very
keen, you know. As soon as we get a slot, I would love it.
So let's set the date for that.
Is that GOAT or
No.
This is
before GOAT. This is 2002,
No
2003.
modifications,
So this
no
is-
X,
But are we
Y,
playing
Z
playground rules?
summons
That's the
or anything
question,
of that
boys.
shit. Old school.
Okay, let's
Hannah,
set
Hannah,
it
Hannah,
for the
Hannah,
28th
about
November.
shit, no modified shit, nothing.
So this is when Graceful Charity and everything else was still at 3.
Mahavelo, bruh. Mahavelo.
You can ask Ahmad about Mahavelo and Hannah that day.
All right, let's set a date for the 28th
He says we'll
of
set a date.
November. It's not next week, the week after.
28th
That way we
of
can spend some time
Yeah.
typing. We can go
28th of
properly.
November.
Yeah.
It's going to be a remote deal, so if you guys
I'll
have the
have a
cards,
get
then
ready.
by so like because
I rebuke. My birthday is on the 23rd. I want it on my birthday.
your birthday's on a Thursday.
It's next Thursday. I want it on my birthday.
Podcast is on
Send
Tuesday,
me
so
some
we can
love,
do a remote
niggas.
duels night.
Send me some love.
So
Come on, tell us, man. You know our history, man. You can't do this to me.
Ons sal dit maak werk, alright? We'll make a plan.
That's why.
You're not a talesman, you're a talisman.
yeah,
like
talisman,
Jack
talisman, yeah, he's
Sparrow.
not
I'm
talisman,
about to be
yeah.
very cocked out instead.
Hy's 'n talisman nou, hy's nie meer talisman nie, hy weet nog wat seker
It's a
sien die wees nou.
talisman.
All along since day one.
Yeah, well, the wife has
Alright.
spoken, eh? So happy wife, happy life. So we
There we go,
Is it?
brother. Comment accepted fucking 100% because you must know that thing. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, then Zayn says, before we continue, when a colored woman enters the chat. Yeah, bruh.
Listen, she will kill me remotely, I know.
Of course.
There's a reason why I'm silent.
You
But
know,
Ahmad, ons wag vir jou en vir Stacy. Ek wil uncle word asseblief.
Luister, usually I want to get back to our scheduled podcasting sometime this evening before you try to get Achis pregnant.
Zayn, what is so?
Dis in die chat.
In which chat?
In the chat, in Twitch chat, so just talk.
So you can hear me?
You can hear
Okay. Zayn,
Ja?
what is so? What is so? Kyk hier so. Jy moet jou vrou bring met allerlei samosas en paaitjies, né? Laat ons gou kan kak maak en gou 'n bietjie weight training doen, man. Ons los die fast forward kak.
Look here, this is a professional and family-friendly stream, okay?
Not a remote duels podcast unless it degenerates into fighting.
Okay,
within the first 10
so
minutes.
let's get back to it. I mean, yeah. So Kyle, you take it away, brother. It's the floor is yours.
All right, so this week on the third one, we are joined by Chaden. Now, Chaden is the owner of one of the largest Instagram pages in South Africa of Yu-Gi-Oh! He's, what did you hit recently? 1,006?
I think it's 1,004, but
Oh, well done.
Yeah, look at that. 1,400 followers based completely on Yu-Gi-Oh! Platform that he started from nothing.
Well
I think
done.
it's really impressive.
Well done.
Yeah, Chaden has been a seller. Yeah, in the community for many years now. He's built up a rapport. I'm sure everybody has dealt with him in some capacity.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very, very close friend of mine, and the one I do all of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Business with. And yeah, honored to have him on. Big things to talk about. You know, the nature of being a vendor in the country. But first, I think for some flavor and spice, apparently the guys went to locals recently.
Hey, yo,
and,
okay.
apparently it was a good one.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So, as you know, I finished second in my past locals.
Well done.
And this is
brother,
with and this is with obviously my favorite deck, and it's officially become my favorite deck of all time, other than Dragon Link, Red Dragon Archfiend or
Archfiend.
Resonators. Let's fucking go. Like,
Do they
okay,
just resonate with you?
it just resonates with me. So I can't remember.
Well done.
Ahmad, what? I think you got 5th. I'm not too sure.
I got fourth, but we were all tied down from second.
Yeah. We were all tied down. Like,
Zayn for coming third.
so Zayn came 3rd, myself
Zayn got
2nd, Ahmad 4th, and then obviously Josh with the win on number 1. Shout out to Raccoon YGO for the win at locals. But it wasn't an ordinary locals, it was a tin event. So what we did was, we, instead of having the normal OTS prize support, we had the megatons of 2023 as prize support. Right?
Very nice.
So if you guys are, if you're in the chat and you are from the Cape Town area or whatever, and you are in the Somerset West region, please check out the Warren. We do have locals on Friday evenings from 7 o'clock, and then also Saturday mornings from 11 o'clock until 2. And then we also have a second locals or a rogue event from 2 o'clock until the rest of the day. So if you guys are in the area, please check it out. So my thing is this, right? I thought, because I lost against Josh because he was playing, and this is going to resonate with the older players in the chat and in the chat over here, in our live stream as well. Zodiac Tri-Brigade.
Zodiac Tri-Brigade, hey?
Zodiac Tri-Brigade. Normal
I'm gonna say,
normal summon the Zodiac, attack directly, make Zeus, clear your opponent's board. They can't do jack squat. Right?
I'm gonna say, he sent me the list. He sent me the
How
play-by-play.
long the Appaloosa pass?
Yeah, dude.
How? I don't know.
Appaloosa pass is strong. People
How long's the
underestimate
Apple
it.
pass?
Okay, so
honestly,
I lost against the Resonators, against Zodiac Trier, right? But it went to game 3. Game 1, he won me. Game 2, I set up enough on the board to clear. Now, mind you, this whole event, I did not once make Supernova Dragon, which I would have loved to make because it's a Zeus for your opponent only, right? Not once per turn, by the way, the same like Zeus.
wow.
However, all three of my games after the loss against Josh, triple calamity.
Of course.
It was so fun. It was so fun just having Armored Sharks, Nimleria, and who's the other guy I played against? Ahmad, can you remember? Who else did I play against? It was Josh, Ejaz.
You play against Amir.
Yes, Samir was my first game, which was Synchron, right? So it was literally, the first round was literally
Jack
Jack
Atlas
Atlas versus Yusei. It was literally that, because he went the whole Crimson Dragon line, all of that mumbo jumbo, right? And yeah, I didn't Calamity Lock Zane, as he pointed out. I didn't Calamity Lock him. I just scarred Dragon the shit out of you. But anyway, but Samir's game, and he is in the chat at the moment. That was probably the most fun game that I had, because it was the first game and it was the first match that I actually used my deck against someone else. Right?
I actually have an interesting question.
Yeah.
So, Mac, you there, bud? Okay. I would like to see the two of you negotiate the differences in your RDA build, because I know you've also had great success playing.
Yeah, Mac also has great, but the thing is, my list and Mac's list is very similar.
Yeah, I think, Yusri, are you not playing a larger Bestial package in yours?
So I'm playing 3 Lubalian, 1 Serenier, 1 Dreas Worm, 1 Magnamut. And then I play Etude and Beast. I don't play Regained.
Yeah, so you're playing actually the Bestial build. I'm playing the Hand Trap build.
Yeah.
So my build is no Bestials at all except for 2 Druid Worms. And it's simply just because they're an additional Hand Trap. And then I'm playing 3 crossouts and a shit ton of hand traps. With the bare bones flipping.
Yeah, so my next variant that I wanted to test out was the no Bastille variant with the hand traps, the crossout, and all of that. The only reason why I didn't do it at this specific event is because I didn't have crossout, and the guy that has the crossout hasn't been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the last 3 or 4 months. Right? Now, mind you, at our event this weekend, right, was Branded, as you know, Ahmad, representing Branded all the time. Alright,
Nice
it was a Red Dragon Archfiend, it was Nimlaria, it was Zodiac Tri-Brigade, it was Live Twin Sprite,
Speedroid.
it was
Speedroid.
it was Trickstar, it was Armored Shocks.
Not
love to see a good Trickstar deck, eh?
Not teaching Shocks how to
Walter was playing Grand Maju.
Grand Maju,
Walter
sorry,
was playing
yeah,
Grand
Grand
Maju.
Maju. So not teaching the Socks how to synchro summon because they were XZ summoning, but yeah. So I've got Samir in the chat who was my round 1 opponent, right? Synchron versus the Resonators, and as he said, was the Bastials really, for him personally, the Bastials really does add to the bodies of like what you end on the board of materials, which was, for me, it's cool because I never, like, I think I had, out of all my games, I think I had 1 brick hand, but I still won the match, right? I played just because I didn't have the cards, because I was looking for 2 triple tactics talents. I played the Salamander Crystallizer in the 1 spot, and then for the other flex spot, I played Skullmeister, actually. Just as a flex spot. Just as
Very
a flex
interesting,
spot.
yeah.
Very interesting.
And how did
but,
you feel about the Capitalizer? Because that's, I think that was the tech that I put you on.
dude, Salamander Crit. Yo, it is insane.
It's nice, eh?
Like, I had a lot of the times where I went special summon Crimson Resonator to normal summon the Bone Archfiend, but did something, because I went second most of the time, the Crimson Resonator always had some kind of an interaction that removes him from the board.
Yeah.
But then I had Catalyzer in my hand with another Crimson Resonator, and then
so
I
nice.
Catalyzer reveal, summon Crimson Resonator, and then
Just
send
start
the
Catalyzer.
Catalyzer, and then I can still continue, right?
Yeah.
At one point, I had one of my opponents ask me, "Well, how the fuck are you playing through?" Because I played, I think in my turn 3, I played through 11 hand traps.
Yeah,
or 11
or
11 interruptions, and still won the match.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really nice.
So
I play Catalyzer in Dark World, and it's very nice.
There's also one thing I need to mention about this past locals. Like, we had 4 random rarity collection packs being bought, right? And everyone told me, "Nah, buy the packs," and I'm like, I don't have money for this. Josh pulled a QC Dark Law, right?
Yo.
Then the one guy that I played against in my first round, Samir, he's in chat at the moment. He buys a first pack and he pulls, Samir, what did you pull? I can't remember.
PCR Droplet.
That was on the 3rd pack.
Yo.
He buys, after he pulls the nuts, he pulls a Baron out of the 1 pack, and then he buys 2 more packs, and then he pulls a QCR Droplet. Like,
You see, Priority Collection's nuts. We've been saying it for weeks now.
we've been saying it for weeks, bruh. We've been saying it for weeks. But that is how the locals win, and eventually I ended up in second. Now, I understand a lot of people's frustration with the deck and reservities for the deck, in the sense of we can't take this deck, like, this is all that I've been hearing, we can't take this deck to a big event like a OTS Champions or a regional qualifier or etc. My personal thought, it depends on the pilot.
Yeah, and also it depends on the deck representation. You know, if there's a lot of D-barrier going on, what do you do?
Yeah.
There's a lot of draw going on. It all depends on the format.
Kyle, I played right through D-barrier.
How do you play through D-barrier when your whole extra synchros?
Because I had Etude set on the field.
So you just synchro during the
I
okay,
played
branded
right through D-barrier. Like, when I say that I played through 11 interruptions plus hand traps, I'm not kidding.
Okay. Obviously, but the problem usually is that every deck is pilot dependent. I could say that about picking up Burning Abyss. You know, you could top with Burning Abyss.
But that's what I'm saying. This is one of those decks
To be honest,
yeah.
To be honest, the person that represents that the best, and by us, is Josh. because Josh is a good pilot of majority of deck. He literally came with a statement, I'm going to pick up Tri-Brigade Zodiacs and then just stop the locals. So he'll next week he'll pick up Sub-Terrors and he'll just stop the local. It's not because the deck is good. The deck is fairly decent, but because he pilots the deck so well, he understands where to interrupt, what to interrupt, and his knowledge of the game is that good.
Yeah.
And he can pick up any deck and just go above it. So,
shout out Josh. Yeah, we need to have him on again.
Like this past weekend, after everyone had their matches, then Ahmad told me, I know you feel like playing branded again. Just play with a deck like a friendly match against someone. But here's the thing. There is lines that I see that Ahmad does not see. There's lines that Ahmad sees that I don't see. Right? And then we will always tell each other afterwards, like ask him at one locals, I wasn't playing, he was playing. I literally, after game 3, I knocked him on the head and I said, how could you not see that line?
Yeah, it's 100% true though. It happens all the time.
The thing is, it's the situation, because that line wasn't viable in the situation.
Yeah.
Like I told him afterwards, I saw the line, I'm just holding on because I know what I'm dealing with. So it's like it comes back to like the piloting. Like you should have gone into one line at that stage, where I would have gone into a different line of combo, which is really nice.
Okay.
Different player, different.
So Samir, you not playing as much Yu-Gi-Oh as you want to, I think that is a skill issue and a you problem, right? So understand this. We've been telling you so many times, come to locals, but you must know, you must got the Wi-Fi and the school and all of that, but just come to more locals, man. If you tell me this, like
I have to say, the most surprising deck, like the deck that really put me on my toes, was Zane. Zane was really not. Malaria deck really knocked it out the park. I drew against Zane. I play Zane a lot of times.
That deck is so
irritating.
irritating.
Majority of the times, I win Zane only because I play a lot more stronger deck.
That deck is so irritating, no? Like, now obviously, like Nemleria sets up an Omni Negate in the first turn, right? And the Omni Negate says you can negate whatever as long as there's extra deck monsters in your extra deck. Right?
Pretty nuts. I mean, when you're not gonna have that.
He goes pot of extra, have banished 6. He still got 6 negates left. He doesn't have to go pot of. You got 15 negates just
and
laying
you can
there.
shuffle the extra deck monster back.
And
very cool.
And it's not once per turn.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
I drew against Zane. I drew against him, like, we went to time, and I had like 500 life points more than him. Literally, like, I was at 8,000, he was in 7,500. But it was one of those where, what I really like about it, it makes you think, because now you can't go into your normal combo lines, because now you're dealing with this type of board, which you've never dealt with before. Like, the amount of times my whole field got banished.
Or booked
was absolutely insane in one turn. Like, I mean, Brandon Chimera has the gas to play through things, but to an extent to where I thought, like, I can't make it. I don't have any Albas. I don't have any scenes of these. Like, what do I do here? You know, to a point where I had nothing left.
You see, the thing is, and it's not just the fact that Namleria has, as Zayn says now, because he corrected me here in the chat, nigga, fast forward to here. Join us on the Discord, and then we can talk. But as I said now,
we'll have him on next week. We can have a whole breakdown of the deck.
As I said now, is that the fact that it's not just the negation, but the destruction also, because his other Namleria monsters also have destruction effects as well. And this is where I want to bring up this topic of how meta players sometimes struggle against rogue players, because they come with this strange ass decks that you don't know what's happening, and then you end up either taking a beating very hard or barely surviving.
Scraping the win.
Actually, a really good time to bring in both Chaden and Mac, who are both very good at playing off-meta stuff. Chaden's got quite the feisty Earth Machine deck lying around, and
I love
You calling Earth Machines off meta is the most disgusting comment I've ever heard in my life.
I love Earth Machines.
I will stand firm and die on the hill. Earth Machines are a meta deck. I love
But
Earth
I
Machines.
think Jaden's agreeing with you.
I respect you so much, dude. I respect you so much.
I love Earth Machines. Really, I do.
It basically falls back on what Kusanagi said. It's all about the pilot. The combo lines for an Earth Machine player can be one way, and for me it can be something else. And the biggest thing about Earth Machines is it plays through hand traps. That hand traps do absolutely nothing to Earth Machines. So if you don't have something else other than hand traps, which is basically Yu-Gi-Oh, then you're going to struggle.
Of course.
If the pilot is good.
Yeah. That's why I say that's why I say it's all pilot dependent. Like, a lot of people know how to, like, if I can use the example, like Mac has incorporated the Nadir Maximus line into his branded deck, right?
Which also play with it. It's good.
Which, by the way, apparently, Ahmad, I don't know if you know this, but Ranier is now all of a sudden also going that route.
Interesting.
Yeah. No,
Interesting that one
the
of our
thing
top
is,
players are going that
it's
route.
not interesting. Is, as Max said all the time, it is fucking strong.
It's very good. Right, Mac?
It's very strong if you think about it. Right? Because the thing is, you sending a card from the extra deck, it can be anything. Most of the time people send Garura just to draw one. You draw into engine. Boom.
No, honestly,
it's a +2, bro.
And it's +2 because of Maximus as well.
So I have to play 2 Garura.
No, not necessarily.
Ahmad, you're misunderstanding why Garura is in your extra deck. It's there for a draw one, nothing else.
You don't make it. If it's a super poly target, then whatever.
Okay, so
I normally use that as a super poly target because I want to break bullets because it's fun.
So, man, you're a terrible player.
Guys, I want to use this because as a segue into the next topic that I have, and I know I'm overtaking your shine here, Kyle, but I need, as a judge, as a Yu-Gi-Oh judge, right? Whether I judge at locals or whether I judge at a bigger event or whatever. Now, obviously, please do bear in mind for anyone in the chat, just a disclaimer, right? I only passed my PC1 and RC1, which is your rule competency and your, what was the other one? I can't remember the name. The
policy.
The policy. Yes, thank you, Kyle. The policy competency.
The people who are
right? So only the first exam which allows us to judge OTS, local OTS events, OTS champs, if I'm not mistaken. If our head judge Chris is in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. And
you can floor judge at Reggie's.
And I can floor judge along with our head judge at something like a regionals, not a national event, like a regional event or whatever. In order for you to progress as a judge, as far as what I know, as our head judge has told us, that you need to participate in a live event like a YCS or above,
at a YCS, yep.
Where you are not just a judge, but you're doing a practical test there. You're doing a practical as well as a theoretical test, and that is how you get your PC2, PC3, and from there you can, or PC2 rather, and continue from there, and RC2. Now, the other thing is, what I want to bring up is something that Samir brought, like, this is what we experienced throughout our game. Now, I know our event was not casual, it was still competitive, but it was more friendly. But obviously at bigger events like a nationals, OTS champs, regionals, whatever event, this is not allowed, and that is other players standing around the table and chirping in.
Oh, right? Honestly,
backdoor piloting or backseat piloting. Let me put it like that. Right?
I can tell you, in my experience, especially, you want to talk about it only being done at locals. I will disagree. I've seen it done at locals. I've seen it done at OTS champs. I've seen it done as regionals. Listen here, and at States 2023 May, I saw it happening to games I was in.
Of course,
Judge was there in the corner watching.
Yes,
people were talking. People were nothing.
And he does
It's
nothing.
a problem.
And he does nothing. Also, this is also why I say that I think in the Cape Town regions, right, or in like our events and stuff, our judges, floor judges, our head judge, Chris, I know he's a beast when it comes to judging. Hey, Clearly Cabbage, thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy the stream. I hope you enjoy the chat as well. Just follow, just drop a comment in the chat if you want to say something and we'll mention it on stream. But as I'm saying is, our head judge, Chris Gerber, he is the top judge in South Africa, actually, to be frank. I'm not talking sucking it out of my thumb. I'm not talking through my balls, whatever. He is the top judge in South Africa, and according to Konami. And the thing is, we've come to that point where whatever he says is fucking law. Like,
Law.
he will always tell you, whether it's a small event, big event, friendly event, locals event, whatever. He will always tell you, if you are done playing, if you are not outside within 30 seconds of you finishing your match, expect your next game to be a game loss. Because you have no reason to be inside or around the other players. Now, you can ask Ahmad. We had a couple of new players join our ranks a couple of months ago when we were still playing actively every day, every week and whatever, right? And they didn't, I think I gave them a fright because they didn't know that I was a judge. However, John Gordon, our TO at the time, did tell them that, look here, I'm just the TO here. He's going to judge today. He's the judge of the thing. And all I'm hearing the whole time after match, and I'm chilling, because I was still playing as well, even though I was a judge. It was just a local event. And all I'm hearing is the whole time like, yeah, but he's got this in his deck. Why don't you play this? Or play this now. He's got that on the field. Play this now. And I'm like, Askies Oom,
Don't do that.
you better quiet down or I disqualify the both of you from this event. And
what it gets back to, I think, is, for example, when you are playing and you are declaring interactions and activations,
yes.
and you have to be so careful yourself and what you announce. So, for example, if you've now spent your turn setting up your board and you're going to pass turn, and your opponent says to you, okay, listen, please walk me through your board.
Yes.
You as a player should be wise enough to not say that, because if you don't declare something and you go and activate it later, he can say, but listen, when I asked you what was going on, you didn't tell me that. You were withholding the information.
Yeah.
You have purposely deceived me.
Yeah.
You can take a game loss from that.
Yeah.
So even as a player, you have to be so cautious. Now you want to have some guy standing next to you telling what to do. It's ridiculous.
The thing is, once you've established a board, me as your opponent can ask you, okay, what's going on here?
What am I dealing with?
What am I dealing with? Right? I can't ask you what's going on in your hand.
I normally do it to Zane.
Yeah, like the thing is, as we know, as the new rules became a reality a couple of months ago, or 2 months ago actually, where they said where if you add a card from deck to hand and your opponent asks, like for the rest of that turn, that card is still like public knowledge, so you can still ask.
Same with the card flipped face down.
Yeah, you can still ask like, what's the card stats? What does the card do? Do I have to worry about any negates or whatever? Next turn, if you pass the turn to your opponent can't go, oh yeah, but what's that other card that you added in? I don't have to tell you. I am sorry. That is none of your business.
What I'm referring to is,
I've actually experienced it where when you get to locals, there's small groupies of like 3-4 people. They may be like a carpool together or something like that. And then as the tables get higher and lower, there's maybe a specific duel going on. And then the one buddy of that group will be busy with a duel. And then they will come and stand close by and have like their own conversation. But they're actually giving the guy
information
on what to do. Like, oh my word, he could have used the Ashuna. and then
Yeah.
the guy clicks, oh fuck, I can.
I could have done that, yeah,
machine.
right. Like the thing is, we
That's
at
what
our locals, right? At our locals, we have myself, Ahmad, and Josh always standing outside. But it isn't to discuss what's happening in anyone else's dicks, right? It's more to discuss like how did your match go, right? It's more to discuss like, okay, I know I fucked up here. So I know I can do that better. That's different, right? It's different, right? Whereas you going and say, look here, but this guy, we all know what everyone else plays at our own locals, right? But we still don't discuss
More or less, yeah.
our opponent's decks to say that, okay, at this point in time, if he has this card on the field, he's going to activate this because he probably has it in his hand or whatever, right? For us, it's more like we're discussing how could you have played your own combo line, your own deck better in that scenario, right?
To learn, to move forward.
Then it will always be, okay, Josh would say,
when the round's done, we normally take a 5-minute break and then we're like, let's work outside or something.
Yeah.
That's where the discussions happen. It's like, no, dude, round one, I could have done this, I could have done it, I played this against you, type of thing. Like, that is nice and fair, but not like while the match is going and then like telling the person who's probably going to do that to do
like
this.
for instance,
we just stay quiet and you watch.
like for instance, and I look at our TUN event, right? And I did mention that I played against Samir, who was playing Synchrons. So it was a Jack Atlas Yusei match, right? Which I don't agree with. And I literally, while we were playing, I literally went, guys, please just quiet down, calm down, because this man needs to think and I need to play as well. So I need to also think about how I'm going to play around this shit. Whereas we had two of our players, I'm not gonna name shame for people that do that because that's not my job. But what I'm saying is that there's always players going, while you're busy playing, read the card, you can do this, you can do that. And like even Samir went like, what do you want me to do?
Carl,
Even if you want me to do that, then you will still negate with X card, or you will still be able to do this with X card and destroy the card with X card, and I've wasted a negate, and then what do you want? I'm still dead. So just let me play the game according to what our current game state is. Let me still enjoy whatever is left. And if I die, I die graciously. If I don't, then I still have another turn. It's one of those things, man.
Okay, user, we've got to move on quickly. Jaden, you had an opinion?
sorry, it's just my last 2 cents. It's just a thought, but you guys can say yay or nay. But it's just a thing I've been thinking of for quite a while.
Yeah.
At these big events like nationals, regionals, big locals, big events, the OTS should actually have a dedicated table with like 6 or 8 chairs that's separate from the dueling tables, like far away in the corner. And that's a dedicated place where guys take that deckless form and they fill in their decks.
Yeah.
The reason for this is some of us fill in our deck list beforehand. Some people get there like 10 minutes before the event. Then they fucking run around and trying to get a deck list done. The mistake that people make is they sit in the middle of the event writing down the whole
and everybody around them.
But
it's fluid, fine.
You already submitted. He's just walking around asking you, how far did you drive? How's things, man? And meanwhile, he's actually just scanning your whole entire deck.
Is alles alright met jou? Is alles alright met
I think
jou?
that's a nice idea.
Sorry. Yeah.
Big event.
Mac, what did you want to say there? I see your screen lit up there.
I'm saying it's probably a fucking flu player that's the one asking these questions.
Yeah, he's not the one matching the deck list. He's the one sniping.
Kyle.
I mean,
Kyle,
we can expect it from blue players, bro.
Yeah, but-
I'm sorry, like the stereotype is real.
Of course, but this is
The
why.
stereotype is real.
But this is why Kyle can't answer because he's a flu player.
No, the problem,
Occasionally
I'm also
played blue.
partially a flu player. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have
I-
a fucking dick, and I hate myself for it.
Like
Byron can hate me
Occasionally
too for it
play
'cause he's
flu,
fake.
occasionally my enemy.
You see, so I need to embrace the dark in order to see the light.
Yeah, of
I need
course.
to
Yeah,
play
like-
flu in order to
You gotta
know,
love your enemy.
of course.
embrace the evil
Byron,
within.
like, sorry guys, before we continue, Byron, I see you are here. You all quiet. You saying nothing. Are you?
Welcome back,
are
Byron.
Are you still salty about that 9 interruptions or that 9 negates that I played through? Is you still salty about it?
No, not at all, not at all. I'm just listening to the conversation, that's all.
Oof,
Like
what a
this,
shame.
like this man,
Fine.
like this
That
man
Jack
every
is
time.
insane, man.
This man every time goes. Herald of Herald of Perfect, whatever the thing's name is. Okay, discard to negate. Then he goes, Herald of Orange Light negate. You know, Herald of Perfection negate. Herald of Perfection negate. Herald, like, okay,
And he just kept going,
and-
going,
and then, like,
going.
Going.
and I'm like, okay, I make Scarred, I special summon Vision, I synchro the two to make whatever, and then I get Red Dragon, and because I make Scarred, Red Dragon destroys your whole field. I'm like,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Kusanagi, I've found out how to play around Byron's entire strategy.
that's easy.
All you do
Sorry,
is you wait,
sorry, Byron.
right? So you wait, and then once he summons his Herald of Perfection, you take the card and you rip it in half. Simple. Very effective. I mean, that's how you do it.
But anyway, guys, before we run out of time, and I think we've had enough of the fun without actually getting to all the topics, we had literally 40 minutes worth of fun, which I think it's cool because I think we need to incorporate more of this fun activity talk during the course of the stream. Our Sad Panda Time 69 is calling Judge because we talking slow. We slow talking
Slow
right
playing.
now. We slow playing
slow
right now.
talking.
Okay.
So Kyle, take it
what I
over
wanted-
and let's go.
What I wanted to talk about tonight, we've now had a couple of episodes, right? So you guys are getting pretty used to the format, pretty used to our discussions on the meta, the ban list, things changing. But something that not enough people talk about or discuss is how we actually get the cards we play with.
Yeah.
Because we've dedicated so much of our lives to playing this game. We spend so much time doing deck lists and interactions and matchups and prepping and. But if you have not managed to get your cards and you arrive to your tournament on the day, you are going to get nowhere. Now, is this just as easy as going to Checkers and buying a Chaos Angel off the
Yeah,
shelves?
there we go. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring up something, and we all love this dude, and we all buy cards from this dude, and
He's going to
all
do
of
it.
all of that. I'm not gonna mention his name on stream.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows his name.
Everybody
You don't have to
knows.
say it.
Everybody knows. I don't have to say it, but everybody knows. But there was some and this. I can't recall if you guys remember that incident where
Last year, September, I remember.
Raccoon YGO went off on said person and said, "Look, but so and so and so. It was a regional event, and cards never and so on." Like, my thing is this, we all love this dude. We all love our vendors in general because this is where we get our cards from, right? Whether it's being a claim sale, right? And we host. By the way, guys, if you guys are a Yu-Gi-Oh player watching and you haven't heard of the claim sales, we do amazing shit called a claim sale, right? Shaden 911
Well, let Shaden walk you through it.
Shaden 911, then that will be later. Shaden 911 on stream as well as Talisman on stream. They are the people to talk to when it comes to the claim sale. Amazing stuff. We will talk about that closer to the end of the stream. I will segue into that.
That's our baby.
But coming back to that is, at the end of the day, right? We need our vendors just as much as our vendors need us.
Need us. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is,
Right.
so without them and the economy of buying and selling cards, none of us would have anything. And yes, this really big vendor that we have now mentioned has in the past had issues. So the thing is, you don't always buy from them.
Yeah.
You need to go to other people And now Chaden over here has, for the last couple of years, been buying and selling, growing his brand from very small to the point where, he's done well for himself.
Of course.
And I wanted to ask you, Chaden, what exactly got you started in being a buyer and seller of the cards?
Yeah, so thanks, Carl. So basically for me, I came back into the game at the start of 2019. I stopped in 2014, and then I took a big gap. I actually borrowed my collection of that time to someone. Long story short, he lost the collection. In today's day, that collection would be close to like 300k. But yeah, I basically had to start from. I had one single card on my name, and it was a structure deck Kaiba, a sword stalker, which was used as the thing you put into the books when you try to keep your place.
Bookmark,
the bookmark. Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, basically I then in the start of 2019, I went on Gumtree, OLX and those kind of stuff because I didn't know about Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups.
And this is before the WhatsApp group. Yeah, I only made it 2020.
Yeah. So basically, I got this one guy. Sorry if I'm talking a lot.
No. Go for it. That's the point of this. That's the point.
Go for it.
He had all of his cards and tins. He packed on his bed, and he was like asking $550 for the entire bed. And when I googled like TCG player, and I knew of a Troll and Toad, and I checked the values, and like roughly I can see like 3.5k worth of cards. And I actually sent the guy a message, and long story short, I bought the stuff. And that's where everything started. That's where I had my product. And
let's go.
Selling singles, bundles, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. People gave me advice on pricings and shipping. I didn't know what Postpaid was, nothing about that. And slowly but surely I learned.
That's how you get into it, man.
Yeah, and Jaco Klute, he actually he came to my house in Malmesbury, and he went through my stuff and he said like, yeah, this is how you sell this, and but Battle Bunker Tiger Valley has a group. Let me add you on the group, and that's how things basically started. But long story short, last year I had 156 couriers. This year is not done. I'm sitting well over the 400 mark.
Yeah.
So I've grown exponentially. And yeah, yesterday was a big day for me, and I spoke to Kyle as well.
Yes.
So basically, a lot of my product, because I've gotten more into the community and a bigger name, people have started to reach out to me because they've been seeing all the sales and the stickers of Andrew Tate saying it's sold. They say, listen, please sell my cards for me. And yeah, people have been sending me cards and packages on their own. And yesterday was the biggest one yet. So there's a
nice.
anonymous person. He prefers to stay anonymous.
Yes, of course.
But every 2 to 3 months, he sends me a big batch, and he sent me about 20k worth of cards yesterday.
Holy shit!
I'll show you guys the binder afterwards.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So
yeah.
What before you continue, Shaden? So, okay, 20,000 rand worth of cards. Yeah, I'm struggling to put together 20k for a deposit for a car.
No, he's just got Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Just got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, okay, I can go to the dealership. I'm gonna go pick out the card. Like, Brian, as a binder, collector's items only. cards for your kids, whatever. I want this
For
car.
your car.
For your car. Let's go. Like yo, bruh. No, man.
He's just gonna call security, man. He's gonna think you're not right in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna claim insanity.
Because they don't understand the power
Yeah.
of that Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
So
Lots
yeah,
of
I
power, man.
basically our work is closing on the 15th, and today is the 14th. So my goal is to have everything sold before then.
Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big stretch.
Then also
but I
this
think I can
the
do it.
segues into a perfect question for you from Zayn in the chat, asking that if you have a Alba Zoa engine for him.
There is a Dogmatica core in there, so there might probably be there. I'll definitely send him a PM.
Shaden's gonna take all my money.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have these kind of podcasts and streams. So if you guys need cards, just drop it in the chat. Click that follow button. It's absolutely free for now.
Let's
follow, not the cards, boys.
Follow up.
It just helps us. But yeah, let's go.
So yeah, the sales went good, and then the one day, this one guy, his name is Yaku. He posted on Yu-Gi-Oh! South Africa. That he has a group that does TCGs and stuff like that. And for some reason, I just thought that let me send this guy a message. Let me see what the group is about. I joined the group, and this is the current group that we have. And it was 12 members. They were doing
when Jaden and I joined, there were 12 people in it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and basically from there, he created the idea of claim sales and auctions. And we've just been building on that, promoting. The Instagram has helped with that because about 20% of those followers are South Africans. So yeah, everything has just been growing, and it's at a point where everything is growing on itself.
Look, hopefully our own little organization that we currently have running here is growing, because we currently have some viewership from the European countries like UK and Germany and all of that. So hopefully our organization is growing. But what I want to say is, Jaden, I know myself and you, we had a discussion like a couple of months ago regarding the Yu-Gi-Oh! Market and how we want to start our own little platform. Right?
Yes.
Because we were talking about it and we said, like, for a South African vendor, it doesn't make sense to list his or her cards on TCG Player, for instance. Because TCG Player takes, I think it's 15 to 20% of the card value of what people are buying from you. So if the card that you are selling is 500 Rand, TCG Player is taking 20% of that, plus the tax, plus the transaction fees from the payment gateway. So you, out of that 500 Rand, you might only get 300 Rand for that card, because you're paying so many other things. So a couple of months ago, I approached Jaden in the sense of we wanted to start something in the sense of our own version of TCG Player in South Africa. However, a friend of mine, also a locals mate of mine, I see has done his own thing like that already, where sellers get charged 10%, including tax and payment gateway fees, to sell their cards and stuff to the site. Because obviously what a lot of people do, and some people might ask, why 10%, why 15%, why this, why that, why that. It takes a lot of money to upkeep and host these type of platforms.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Alright, so if it's your own
Is this
thing,
the card market?
So, the card market, like not just the card market side, but TCG Player, Troll and Toad, all of them do exactly the same thing, right? Where they say, okay, list a card, for instance. Now you're listing that card for $5, right? Now on top of that $5, they add their 15% plus their payment gateway charges as well, plus tax. South African tax, not wherever you are buying from, so the tax is automatically calculated. So instead of if the card is valued at 300 Rand, for instance, your end seller or your end buyer, for instance, will now pay 550 Rand for said card, because the other 250 Rand has to go to payment gateway fees, hosting fees, upkeep fees, etc. So I was thinking of doing something similar, but at a rate more viable for South Africa.
I'm actually going to tie into that.
Go for it.
I actually drafted my own website at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Where it's a virtual platform where people can upload their binders and their collections. So basically, you instead of a big website like a TCG player
or something,
you can click on people's names. So I can click on Kyle, I can click on Byron, I can click on, and the virtual interface is exactly like a binder.
Yeah.
You click on let's say the bottom right corner, and then you basically turn the binder.
Yeah.
And in the binder, you can click on the cards, and it will be like Blazing Cartesia, and then there's a price that pops up.
Yeah.
And this way, when the cards get sold, it gets taken out of the binder. It's just a small idea I had. It was like a beta version.
Now, Chad, remember that when I came to you that first time and told you, look here, I have this idea to do this. Can't we plug this into our the claim sales and all of that? Because right after my first claim sale, I told Carl, I already have so many ideas to automate the claim sale process.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have the system on the claim sale where we go, and for those of you in chat and in the stream, if you are talking or quiet or whatever, for those of you that do not know what a claim sale is, we have the system where you have cards that particularly don't want to sell on the bigger groups or Facebook or whatever. Then you come to the claim sale group and say, guys, look here, you speak to one of the admins and say, look here, I want to do a claim sale. What's the best date? I have this date in mind. They will give you the okay, or they will not give you the okay and say, can't we do it on this date? And then you have a bunch of cards that you want to sell at a price. Obviously, don't be the ridiculous. Be lekker. Don't be cuck. And then you do it as such. And when people, the first person that swipes left on the thing to reply and says, claim, said person then claims that card, and that said person needs to pay for that card, right? And this is what the idea that I had when I was speaking to Traden about to automate this whole thing, as well as to Kyle, is that I have a method of automating it. It's just the thing is who's going to be what, when the problem is going to fall in places, especially with online, is the fact that two people click on the exact same item at the exact same time. Who gets it?
What happens?
Right?
And the rule we followed in the groups. So just for frame of reference, Chen said we started out with 12 people in March, I think it was.
Yeah.
Now, November side, we have 162 people.
Yeah.
So as it's grown, this has become, it's not bad. It's become more and more of a problem. Where this does happen, where, for example, one person's phone shows that they sent the message earlier than another person's, or multiple people claimed at the same time, all. And the rule we've traditionally followed is that the person whose claim sale it is, whatever their device
prerogative is, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one person in the chat, Sad Panda Time 69 says, why not receiver's screenshot? The thing about that is we've got so many people at one time going claim, and Ahmad might have been first to say claim, but on the seller side it might be that Kyle's name comes up first, because just for that split second Kyle's internet was a little bit faster.
Yeah.
How many times has
so then both of their screenshots will show?
How many times have we had the issue where people in the chat said, but my internet's a bit slow, that's why I'm not getting a thing. And I know Zayn had this problem quite a while back when we were doing a claim. He couldn't claim anything because there was a problem with his internet. And we can't control that, you know. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. What are we supposed to do?
What are we supposed to do? So that is where it comes up to the seller's prerogative, as we call it, right? So yeah, it's also it's hearties. Then I understand that. But then you also get these players that are very salty and say, yeah, but I claimed it. And then you want to be a English rugby player to say that we called the racial slurs during the rugby. Like, no, man.
Yeah, and I have to say we are blessed to be in a position where it's at a point where there's too many people that's typing claim. At the start, it was one or two people claiming the whole claim cell. Now it's like 9-10 people trying to claim a card.
Claim one card,
But I do enjoy what you're trying to say, Yusri, about automating stuff, and we'll definitely look into that. But for now, the current system is working.
Yeah, it's working perfectly fine.
And my main goal at the start of the year and seeing the numbers grow was to get the group to 200 members before the end of the year. It's still manageable, but I think with that automated system and things just falling into place, I think we'll definitely get there.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Look, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It's not a system of but I said so because I'm moderator. I said so.
What I would like to talk about, tying the vendor into the physical game, because so many players are concerned with what the best game of the moment is, right? But unfortunately, since the game's inception 25 years ago, price point has had so much to do with who could play the best cards. Because back in the day, in the original meta, there was the original base card, which was 7 colored fish.
Yes.
Which was an incredible, because it's a level 4.
7 colored fish. Lajun, the mystical genie of the lamp.
He came next. Yeah, there's a whole conversation. So it started out.
Vorse Raider.
And that's the biggest one. So it started out with 7 colored fish as a normal monster with 1/8 attack, which was ridiculous. So anybody who could afford a 7 colored fish, you could normal something that your opponent couldn't get over. And by the time they could, you would have tributed it all for something bigger, and you would have gained advantage to win.
My wife has a shiny of that card in her deck.
Yeah. But, okay, then next came Legend, which immediately made 7 colored fish irrelevant because it had 1/9 attack. And now if you could afford the Legend, you were suddenly the best player.
And
then the ultimate one, and this is what Mac just brought up, it was a prize card. It was ridiculously expensive. Mechanical Chaser.
Yes.
With 1,950.
It was 1,950.
Carl, I think you're misremembering that. So Legend was 1/8, and then Mechanical Chaser was 1/8.
Legend was 1/8, and then after that, just after Legend came out, I think it was a couple of months in the next set, Vorse Raider came out, which was exactly the same, but it was a competitor in the sense of I can normal summon Vorse Raider. You can have Legend on the field, and you still will be able. We both would be destroyed, kind of thing.
Wasn't it Gemini?
Also, it was 1/9 attack.
Could be. Yeah, you understand the point, Samek. I might be wrong about the exact cards. Honestly, I was a toddler.
Gemini Elf
was...
guys,
we can't blame a guy for not knowing the cards if he hasn't been born yet.
Gemini Elf was 2,000 defense. I can tell you this because I played in that era. And Dark Elf was the one with 2,000 attack and 1,000 defense. That was the normal. However, the longer she stayed on the field, the more attack she loses. That was the alternative to Gemini Elf. Remember, when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2002 when it came out. When it was still Structure Deck Yugi, Structure Deck Kaiba, Structure Deck Pegasus, Structure Deck Joey. I started playing then. And our tournaments back then was very simple in the sense of Okay, I drew this. Set one face down. Set one. Pause. Your set one was normally a trap. Was normally a trap hole and a man-eater bug. That is what it was.
But the point I'm getting at is that the person who could afford the card with 50 more attack, which practically only has 50 more attack, but it was so much more expensive because it's the card that would win the game, right?
Yes.
This trend has followed the whole way through until now. SP Little Knight came out 2 months ago, and that's $100 card.
I wanted to say that now, but I was so expect to fucking talk. Okay, cool.
Yeah, honestly, no, but Jaden, you can contribute because you're involved in the buying and selling of the card. So as a player's perspective, it's really interesting how much finances tie into the game. You know, as someone who sells, what do you think?
Okay, so just before we continue, guys, before you answer that, Jaden, I see here's a couple of people in chat. So Disruptor and Crash. I know people haven't heard you. Oh well, Crash, people have heard you on the stream. People know you all by now. But Disruptor, if you're on, I see you are here in the voice chat. Shout it out to the stream because you are currently live and you are currently made viral on stream. So just say who you are and everything should be good. Disruptor.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I was just unmuting my mic quickly.
No stress, brother. No stress. Introduce yourself to the chat there, brother.
Hello, I'm Disruptor. I play video games and Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot.
Nice. Alright, cool. So we currently do have some form of a format going on. So guys, just bear with us because we are currently just chatting through, and if you do have something to fall into the chat, please feel free to do so. All right, other than that, Kyle, let's continue.
All right, so as the game has continued to progress and things have gotten more complicated, more expensive, there has been a kind of trend where the best cards are held separate, hinged completely on their price points. So for example, let's talk about Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is worth what in the South African
Thrust
marketplace?
Into that Raigeki.
Into that Thrust. Thrust is 1,400 Rand single card that for the privilege of your opponent controlling a monster or activating a monster effect during your turn, you get the privilege of searching one normal spell or trap and setting it directly to the field.
Yeah.
Now, what you can do with this is patently ridiculous.
Yeah.
If I'm going second, let's say hypothetically I'm on branded, right? And I've drawn a really poor hand, and I normal something, and they effect veiler me. I can thrust into my branded fusion, go full combo off of nothing.
Of nothing, yeah. Okay, so Sad Panda Time 69 says it is trash. I do not agree with that. Thrust is
I think it's bad. I think it's a good card.
It's a good card. It's not a trash card. It's a good card. It's a good card, right? Because I can triple tech Thrust into, like you just said, if I'm playing branded fusion. If I already have evenly matched Raigeki, like in Ahmad's case, or hey, don't come here with I didn't say that. You just now mentioned trash. Whoa. Like no. Don't turn my words against me. But it's a fairly good card.
The thing with that is, especially with me, so I'm not in, like most players, probably not in the financial means to afford to buy Thrust and Talents. So for the first time last weekend, I borrowed Thrust and Talents. And for the first time, I had the power of having Thrust and Talents in my deck. And to experience that, it's a whole different, like when you know how strong the cards is, and to actually activate it from your own deck, it's a totally different experience. So for me, for example, like you should mention Thrust into Raigeki, I was facing Shinobirds, and he had a board full of monsters. and I bypassed that. And all I went was, I originally wanted to go thrust into talent, and then as I was searching talent, I bypassed Raigeki, and I'm like, hey, yo, wait. And I got thrust into Raigeki, and his whole board just died. And
that was probably
so
the
card
funniest.
really is powerful, and the player with the money does hold the power in certain situations.
Kyle, imagine this, alright? So that was probably the funniest play ever, because you go Raigeki, I negate your Raigeki with a monster effect. Then you go thrust into Raigeki again.
Because Raigeki's not once per turn.
Okay, so tell me, if you can thrust into Raigeki to have fun with it, why still play Lightning Storm? Ha! Answer me that!
Yeah, me being a buyer in the catering for the budget player, the medium and the high level, I can assure you guys the amount of times I've been asked for thrusts, it's insane. People know what's up. They know that card is good. And also that gives me a bit of insight into the meta as well, because people ask on a daily basis for specific cards.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. You always see the thrust on that list.
Yes.
Always.
And the thing is, for me personally, I'm supposed in the Red Dragon Archfiend, I'm supposed to play 2 triple tactics talents as in the place of Skullmeister and Salamander. I'm supposed to play 2 talents in that spot, and then I can flex in any 3 other spots where I want to, where I have extra non-engine thrust or 2 thrusts or whatever, which does help the deck. But I still think, you know what happens if you end up with a hand with 2 thrusts? What do you then do? Yeah,
I mean, then you only have 1 brick. You still have a thrust. Surely that should be good enough to play.
No,
so
I understand
my problem is not with thrust as a card. I think thrust is an excellent card. I think thrust enables a lot of old school strategies where you can just chuck random one-offs into your deck.
Yep.
Like,
in
the modern thrust into harpies type of thing.
Yes. You'd never really see it otherwise. But with more thrust, you can see them.
Like how with harpies, majority of the time when you in harpies, you just hope to draw.
You just hope to draw.
That's the only. You hope to draw one off. Where it's like, okay, cool. I tied in the one of harpies. Hope to draw one of my 3 thrusts. Put out a monster negate or something, or a hand trap, and
then thrust
from there. Yeah,
it's so much easier.
Like
but that's also leading you to the case of power creep and the cost of the card, because only a meta player or someone that's well off is going to be able to spend that 3,000
to get a playset.
3,800 rand or something for a playset of thrust. Any normal budget player is not going to be able to afford that card.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's become a thing. Yeah, Byron?
Yeah. So inevitably, it's becoming a pay-to-win kind of thing.
What do you mean becoming?
That's a very good topic. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go for it.
It's gotten to the point where some players have become biased against the card for, I want to say, almost reasons of class, where we refuse to buy cards that you win by virtue of it being expensive and good. I must support this system, I think that things like the Rarity Collection, which is, yes, I know, very polarizing, but Talents is in the Rarity Collection. Now, suddenly, anybody who wants to play Triple Tactics Talents can get their hands on one. That card's become accessible. The scales have been balanced.
You'll see more.
Sorry, Mac?
Same with Prosperity as well.
Prosperity as well, yeah, exactly.
And Lightning Storm.
And Lightning Storms evenly matched are very, very attainable right now. We've got terms again.
Apple Chocolate this weekend.
Because Rarity Collection was definitely one of the best steps in the right direction for
yes
for the balance of the game.
Look, I understand. I understand a lot of people say, yeah, but after November, Rarity Collection is not going to be more accessible because it's going to be sold out. I think this is one of those sets where vendors are going to see like, hey, yo, people are actually buying this stuff on a regular, so let's get more. Like up until hopefully next year when we get Rarity Collection 2, where the other staples will be in that we didn't have in this set. But it will still be, I think it will still be frequently more available than what we had with Magnificent Mavens, for instance, which was in the same time slot. Like, because Magnificent Mavens also had Imperm, it also had Sword Soul Iris, it also had a few of these other things, but that is meta relevant, let me put it like that. But it wasn't readily available because not a lot of people were spending money on Magnificent Mavens.
And it was short for us.
Mavens, guys. The issue with Mavens is too expensive as a set. Because you had to buy a whole box and you only get 4 boosters out of it. And then the cards that were chase cards weren't printed in good ratios. Like I bought like 6 or 7 boxes of Mavens and I pulled 1 Lightning Storm out of everything. It was the only card I pulled that was good. So for the average player to be encouraged to buy Mavens, I don't see the point in buying Mavens because you can potentially get the Sword Soul core out of it and that's it. That's the most appealing thing out of it.
So we've got Sad Panda in the chat saying that, but brother, you mean Mavens like Mavens has the Ishizu cards? Yes, Mavens did have the Ishizu cards, but how many people were buying Mavens over just buying the Ishizu singles?
Yeah, 100%.
Like we bought, like between myself, Ahmed and Zain, we also bought a half a case of Mavens, and we pulled out of that half a case, we pulled only 1 full core set of Ishizu cards, right? Which we could sell. And how
this
many?
Is at the height of tier elements.
This was at the height of tier elements. And the thing is, like, this is why I say this literally overtakes any other spot, because people will be buying a Rarity Collection if people stock it for so long, because it is staples galore. So your vendors will always be making money, your sub vendors will always be making money.
I just want to talk about that.
Exactly.
The Rarity Collection, it completely messed up the market, especially for me as well. This person that sent me the stuff yesterday, he sent me 2 boxes of Rarity Collections bulk. So he kept about 10% of the cards that he opened, and the rest he sent me. Opening up the packages and seeing 2 boxes worth of bulk, it's almost as if there's no card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I basically need. For example, I think there's like 5 triple tactics talents.
Jaden, I identify as a charity. You can send that to me.
Claim.
Even me.
Claim.
Exactly.
So scary for me to see that many staples and good cards all in one place, and that's only 2 boxes. And you say you guys bought almost half a case of Magnificent Mavens just to get 1 Ishizu core. That just shows you that the Rarity Collection is like, it's a hack for Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. But tie in with that, my best advice for anyone, if you're a new player, a meta player, buy singles. Don't buy sealed product. Unless you're trying to hunt 75% of the cards in that set, I don't see why you would buy a sealed product.
Yeah.
I can still remember my Sword Soul core when I was busy building a Sword Soul with Magnificent Mavens. And if I had to buy that many boxes of Mavens, it would never have made sense.
Of course, of course.
Okay.
Just to get the sword soul stuff, it wasn't worth it. I mean, out of all of the 6 boxes that we had for swords, for Mavens, we only pulled like 1 Moe and almost 3 of everything else. But one of the most important card nowhere to be found, right? So it's also now, I think this is also the perfect segment to funnel in, or time to funnel into the last bit of what Kyle wants to bring up, in the sense, because we are going into like the final 10 minutes or so of the podcast, because this is South Africa after all, and we do have this thing about calling load shedding, ne? So
the government decides we must go to bed.
Yeah, this is also the final part where I can actually tell Kyle, like, look here, dude, like, get into that final section, and let's take us from there and see where it goes. Before we continue, Kyle, sorry for everyone that's in the stream. If you haven't followed the channel just yet, click this follow button. It costs you absolutely nothing, like no money, no nothing. Just helps, just tells Twitch to show our content even more when we are going live. And also, there's a lot of things currently happening on Twitch in terms of in our About Us section, but tipping and supporting the channel is not mandatory. Let me just put that out there. However, follow the channel if you have nothing else better to do. Just it takes you 2 seconds just to go click, and then there we go. Follow
but
the
you
channel.
can sponsor us, hosts some cards. That would be fine.
Yeah,
we'll accept.
We would not.
that also, yeah. Okay,
Give me thrust.
Kyle, take it out.
Thrust.
It's on to you.
So, firstly, I would like to next week pick up on this point, because I think there's a lot of good conversation here about the Rarity Collection's impact in the market. But what I would like to talk about, in the shadow of the Rarity Collection, let's drop off on the 2 new sets, or the 2 new cores that have come out of the latest set, which is the Memento and the Centurion core. What do you all think of the new set?
I want to play Centurion. That's all I'm saying.
You have
You're going to pay £300.
Pre-sale prices is hype though.
But okay, my personal.
I hope this is not another heavy samurai situation.
You see, the thing is, this is a deck building set coming out now first, like, because the thing is, and my thing is this, my personal opinion. This is just my personal opinion. It is too early after the Rarity Collection. Right?
Yeah. I'm not
It's way too early after Rarity Collection. I would have personally said, let Rarity Collection go and do its thing for the next 2, 3, 4 months up until February next year, for instance, before you bring out the next set. Because the thing is,
but onto that, a lot of I'm talking about meta players, YouTubers that you see floating around on social media. A lot of people have been saying, and I know we talked about this as well, I think on the very first podcast, is that these sets are it's so excessive, it's so much. Like, you get to enjoy a set for 2 weeks, and then Konami's like, yo, boom, another one. So it's a point where it gets too much. Like, I have the question of what are they trying to do? Are they really trying to pump that much cards in to balance the format? And what is
there is going to be no balance in this format. Trust me, because the
Horus
thing is,
recently came out. I'm still grasping the Horus core, and now you're hitting me with Centurion and Memento.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? It's too much. Like it would be cool if Centurion Memento was in the new year.
Like as a Resonator player, right? I understand where they want to go with the Centurion cards. However, Centurion is worse than the Resonators when it comes to cheating out Calamity. So you're gonna see a lot of Calamity locks. You're gonna get a lot of Calamity locks once Centurion is on the market. Every other second deck and their mother and cousin and
going to be
brother
calamity
is
locking,
going to be
yeah.
calamity locking until the sky falls from the heavens, kind of thing.
I'm gonna say it again. I've said it before. Free my man Azatoth. If a rank 5 XYZ is banned for the same thing that every deck can do, this is discrimination. Konami doesn't like black cards, they're racist.
Listen here, peeps. I think we are also coming to the end of our stream coming up because we are.
Yeah, I just want some.
Carl still has some puns to do over there, so I'm gonna head it off to Carl for the last, the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then what we're going to be doing is we'll just still for the next 5 minutes just do a quick Q&A. If there's no one, then we'll end off the stream as per the usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you haven't followed the channel yet, please follow the channel. It just helps us to grow. It costs you absolutely nothing. It doesn't cost you money. I'm not even gonna ask you for money. I don't even want your house address to come and fetch the money, because
please,
you know what?
Please no.
Just no.
But we need the house address to go steal the thrusts, bruh.
No, man. Kyle, so Kyle,
I want some closing thoughts for everybody on the conversation, and I want us to end on our guest Chaden, just as a bit of a summation, see what you guys think. So, in closing, what do you guys feel about the moving forward flooding of the game in terms of, firstly, the rarity collection making staples easier, cards getting more expensive, power creep moving forward? Do you think the game is in a good place? Just briefly, not long.
I think it is. I actually think it's because of this, because of all the major staples being so freely accessible right now. I think it is in a very good space. And then also, No Scope Seth, thank you for the follow, brother. I hope you enjoy. You just came in the last part of the stream. I hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, my personal opinion, I think it is a lot more freely accessible, which makes it a lot more healthier for the meta right now, for the game. And also, Sad Panda also agrees and says that the game is currently balanced and the meta is currently healthy with all of these hand traps and staples being freely available, which I do agree with him. So yeah, I think I stand on that.
What do you think?
Sure, I'm always gonna have a split mind. It's a yes and a no, because it comes to yes, it's good for budget players. It's including myself. I've mentioned having droplet. I showed off my droplet earlier. It's nice to have. But then, in the sense of, if you look at the meta players, what Nick did I have besides those things, when I'm talking about staples, I don't have a Nick of having the highest staple. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, much better.
So it's a fact of, yes, it's nice for the budget players, but what Nick does the meta players now have over the not so budget player, because now they also have prospects and talents and stuff. But overall, personally, yes, it's good. I think they should do this for a long time. I know that the OCG's been doing it for more than 2 or 3 years.
We'll talk about this next week. I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week. Yeah. Okay, Byron?
I hope it comes,
Yeah, I think staples are always good. Cheaper staples are always good, but at the moment, I think they're just flooding the market with too many products.
Matt?
That's it. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the flooding of the market with staples. I think it's a good thing though. Flood the market. I know good for sellers, but I don't really care about sellers. I care about playing the game. I'm not happy with where the engines are though. Sorry, Shaden. I'm not happy with where the engines are right now, especially with the Valiant Smashes that came out recently, and then the Horus engine that also came out recently. Those the Centurion and the Horus engines are gonna really redefine the metas right now.
India Bellstar,
yeah, Bellstar as well, and then also SP Little Knight and Thrust. It's chase cards, which I think we need, and we need them at lower rarities so that they're more accessible. That's my 2 cents on it.
Of course.
Disruptor. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, him first.
Sorry.
We'll end on you.
There's been a lot of flooding of staples this year. We got Trap Tricks, with like Ash. What is it? Ash evenly was brought available to a lot of people. Rarity Collection did it again. Like it was nice. Like as personally, I started playing this year. It was great to be able to acquire all of these cards. But yeah, I just feel like there's too many sets being released at the moment. Like I just picked up Unchained like earlier this week, and now again like I'm looking at, do I need to swap decks to be relevant if I'm playing meta? But
yeah, you do. Unfortunately,
Okay,
this is
of course.
the game.
Jaden, you got the final say. Let's hear your thoughts.
Awesome. I just want to say, Carl, for hosting me and Usually and everyone. I think you guys have a great idea and a platform here. You guys are doing great work. I appreciate everything immensely. I think the game is in a very healthy state. I think the ban list is going to basically seal the deal for all our answers. I think I do agree with you. There is a bit too much product that's coming through now. And the last thing I want to end on is I have a person that has a account at Solarpop, so he supplies me with all my sealed product booster boxes and stuff like that. And this is not bullshit or anything, but this is a rumor. But Rarity Collection is not going to get a second import from Solarpop.
Oh wow!
So,
wow!
I'll
That's
say it
amazing.
now. Then I'll say it now. I'll just buy overseas.
By the way, if you would like to jump on a troll order.
By the way,
when's the troll order happening?
Any Solarpop staff that is watching this, because I know I have a few people from Solarpop that's actually watching this. Import that second printing gooders that's coming in, right? Because I can tell you now, you'll lose a lot of vendors not buying product because of stubbornness or no, we're not gonna do it because it's too expensive. Hey, I'll tell you now, players in general, Yu-Gi-Oh players in general, or TCG players in general, whether it's Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, doesn't matter, they will spend the money just to get one single card from a set.
Also, if your vendor does not
sorry. So basically what Solarpop does is they bring in a first batch, which is normally a massive batch of the new product. That's for the launch events, for the release events, and for the general country. Afterwards, based on the feedback and the sales and the following up events, if there's maybe a nationals or a Nats or something like and stuff like
States
that,
and stuff like that,
then there's a second batch that comes in, and that gives a product again. But with the Rarity Collection being so overly expensive to import and in South Africa, they are having second thoughts on the second batch. So that's why the product that's going to be most probably the only product.
Yeah. Okay, that will segue off into our final moments of the stream. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on official episode 3 of Team Remote Duels, presenting the Yu-Gi-Oh podcast episode 3. For those of you in chat that's listening or that will watch this VOD later down the line, we are still currently busy with the merch section of Team Remote Duels, so we will have merch out fairly soon. We just finalized some form of graphics today, so we will get there soon enough. I hope you guys tune in so that you can get notified as to when that merch will go live, as well as obviously other tournaments and other events coming up, because we will have more, not just this past 2 weeks ago event. Keep your eye out for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat. If you did respond and give comments and everything, thank you very much. If you did follow the channel, to No Scope Seth, Clearly Cabbage, and Lag Jake 69. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat. And until next time, we will see you again on episode 4 of Team Remote Duels represents a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, which is next week Tuesday, 8 p.m. South African time. Until then, we will see you again. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, people.
Rio.
Bye.